Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Now in today's video guys, we're going to be going over the latest Gridiron notes in Madden 21. Today, this Gridiron notes talks about AI improvements and also playbook improvements. Now quickly before we get into this video guys, if you want to follow my Twitter, it's going to be in the link down in the description below. Also my Twitch is down there too. I'm going to be trying to live stream on the weekends and I'll be doing a variety of games, you know, Madden, Minecraft, that kind of thing. So if you guys want to go follow that, that'd be really appreciated. I'm trying to get to 50 followers by the end of the summer, so if you could really, you know, kind of help that progress along, that'd be much appreciated. Now also guys, if you want to check out my two most recent videos, they are going to be in the card in the top right corner of your screen. Anyway guys, let's go ahead, let's get into it. So here we go. Today is going to be going over the NFL Live playbooks and normal playbooks as well. And here we go. So we're going to start it off here. So you got the NFL Live playbooks. So we introduced the NFL Live. So I'm going to highlight it as well so that you guys can see it. So we introduced the NFL Live playbooks post-launch during the 2019 season, able to update the playbooks. I actually really liked that last year. You know, I didn't really use it much, but I liked that they were incorporating like more realism to the game. I felt that Madden needs that a little bit because sometimes it feels like really arcadey, so you like to see it. Let's see, live updates all season. You got Tyreek Hill was mentioned in this. See, Gridiron notes, yeah, they linked it from December 2019 where they talked about the NFL Live playbooks. And then it says they're increasing the amount of content we're delivering via title updates, which is good. It's a good start here. As this feature evolves, it will increasingly become the way that we add new playbook content to the game. We are already in the process of working on a new playbook content that will bring even more variety and authenticity. This is the part that really got me here. One example, I'm going to highlight it here because this is actually really huge. One example of this is the New England Patriots. The Patriots recently got Cam Newton, my boy, and as a result, we incorporated more plays into the Patriots NFL Live playbook to account for Newton's unique skill set, which is vastly different from their former QB, Tom Brady. So basically, if they did not sign Cam Newton, I think they would have the same playbook because I don't know what Jared Stidham really is. I don't know if he's more of a pocket QB or if he's more of a rushing QB, or is he, you know, balanced. But this is actually really good because the Patriots playbook I think is more centered around kind of quick passes and whatnot. Like it's not really centered around running, whereas like the Texans or the Ravens, they're more, you know, they're more centered around the run. So this is actually really good that they updated it and they made the Patriots playbook more like, you know, you're using Cam Newton. So this year, if you are going to be using Cam Newton and the Patriots, the playbook's going to be a little bit different than last year because they obviously had Tom Brady, who was a pocket quarterback. So I really like this here. So while the NFL Live playbook will evolve, by the way, I'm reading this part here. While the NFL Live playbooks will evolve and receive season-long updates, we've also made a lot of changes to our default playbooks. So what they mentioned here is that they added in the NFL Live playbooks. What they did was they had new formations last year, and what they did was they took them and they added them into the default playbooks in Madden 21. So let's say, I'm just going to show you an example here. You go down here, and it's the new plays in Madden 21. So I believe this is the Browns Live playbook, and I believe the play is this PA boot corner post. That would not be in the Browns playbook in Madden 20. However, if you turn on the live playbooks feature and you use the live playbook, it would show up right here. And another example here is going to be the 66 Dixie out of the Buccaneers. And then you have also this, I believe, this red zone halfback scissors out of the gun spread Y slot weak, or the Lions formations, so, or the Lions playbook. So there you go. Pretty much what they did was they took the plays from the NFL Live playbooks on offense and defense and they added them in. Another example here is if you scroll down, you have the dime rush, you have the 4-3 even 6-1, the nickel 2-4-5 odd, the sugar weak, the dollar sugar 2-3 3-2. It's a dime sugar week, I mentioned that already. 4-6 cub, you got the 4-3 even 6-1, and then you got the nickel triple. So those are the formations that are now in the default playbooks, and as opposed to, like, they're not in the NFL Live playbooks, or they're in the NFL Live playbooks, but they are now put into the default playbooks. I think you pretty much get it here. So it does mention here a team may base out of 3-4, but they might have 3-4 odd in their playbook. Likewise, the team may base out of 4-3, but they may not have 4-3 normal. And users will have more meaningful choices when deciding on a defensive playbook this year. So I like that they're making it a bit tougher. You know, right now this year, it was easy for me. I just rocked with the Packers on defense for like the back half of the year, because I was usually rocking with the Giants, then I moved to the Jets, and then I moved to the Packers, and then I rocked with Oakland on offense. So I like that it adds a bit more variety to the game. Moving on here, we got the defensive adjustments to offensive motion. This is actually one of the biggest parts of this article as well here. It says it taps into the logic, by the way, I'm reading right here. It taps into the logic that we use for the defensive auto flip feature based on the play call and the type of offensive motion used. Defenses will adjust to the change of strength to maintain proper alignments and run fit gap integrity by treating the motion as the same as an audible. I really like this. They also mentioned later in this same paragraph that it's like seamless. As you can see, these adjustments to motions are generally subtle and defenses will seamlessly adjust. This is really, really good because some plays on defense could get blown up if you motion a guy out, and I believe they mentioned I-form tight as one of the formations. Yeah, it says the main contributor to the I-form tight motion strategy being unbalanced in Madden 21. So that was just one of the examples here, and I really like how they went and they changed it all. And they went and they just made it more like interactive and whatnot. I felt that was really cool by Madden. Moving on here to pass coverage. Another goal on the defensive side of the ball is bringing more balance. I'm right here. Into man coverage, we made adjustments. So this is actually really good as well. Defenders will use more appropriate press man animations that scale per the matchup of the defender's press rating versus the receiver's release rating. In Madden 20, lower rated defenders were too successful in winning press interactions. Defenders in Madden 21 can now be faked out by certain wide receiver press interactions or wide receiver releases, This allows more animation content in these situations, or content in these situations, whatever it is, and will allow for more separation off the line of scrimmage versus outmatched defensive backs. Now, I really like this because it really puts the emphasis on getting a good receiver. So let's say you have JC Jackson versus Amari Cooper. Well, what's going to happen is, JC Jackson, he's going to get faked out because he's not like Stephon Gilmore, who's really good on press. He's like, I think the Patriots' worst corner, like in terms of like, not the worst corner, but he's like the fourth best corner on the team, or third best corner, whatever it is. So if you put him up on if you put him up on Amari Cooper, what's going to happen is, because Cooper has a really good release rating, I believe, and he might have a good release rating, what's going to happen is he's just going to be able to wiggle on through. He's going to fake him out, and then boom, you got him open for a streak. And it's going to make those matchups more important, which I really like. Moving on here, it also says we also tuned man coverage so that receivers with a high route running versus the defender's man coverage rating will have a slightly higher chance of winning on certain route cuts down the field. Principles also apply to many of the match zone coverages, such as cover 4 quarters and palms versus trips formations. I feel this is really good. I'm pretty impressed with EA right now. They're making good changes to the game. And honestly, like, people love to hate on EA so much, but I actually think that they're making good changes to the game, and they're actually really trying to make their game better. Like, I mean, this is not like Madden 25 type stuff where it's like revolutionary, but it's still good changes, and they have the similarity in terms of the next gen consoles are going to come out later. So as a result, they're trying to fit the new next gen kind of stuff. Here we go. Here, general play tuning, subtle improvements to the number of legacy plays for Madden 21. Improvements will encourage users to change up their play calling and execute more plays than you may have avoided in the past. So I like this as well because, it says, before the snap, we updated animations used for pre-play motion, both for auto motion and manual motions. These new animations allow for players to move realistically and athletically when in transition from one alignment to another. It says also here as well, tune the speed of many of our handoff animations. That was covered, I believe, 3 weeks ago, that Gridiron notes. Also changed how block shedding works defensively in relation to this handoff speeds. Block sheds will be better timed to match the point at which the ball carrier is out of the handoff animation and deciding which gap to run through. These two changes have made more running plays reliable options in the ground game, which also brings balance to overused plays such as stretch and dive. Beautiful, man. Beautiful, because stretch and dive is so overpowered in Madden 20. Legit joke ended up winning the Madden tournament because only running the ball, and he had a punter at quarterback. Like, that's not the way the game is played. So I like that they're adjusting the defense that way. They're going to more, like, they're gonna better adjust to run plays. And I think also they went over in the gameplay deep dive as well, like hitting the gaps better and all that kind of stuff. And I really like that here. It says right here, move realistically. Yeah, I already mentioned that. here, and it says also the motion movements are also contextually appropriate based on player position, wide receiver, halfback, tight end, etc., while considering the type of play and formation in which the motion is used. Moving on, we added more variety in receiver stance animations, which account for the receiver's body type. Along with this new stance, we've cleaned up some issues with releases into their routes while not being pressed to get them more into their routes and downfield faster to improve the timing of the passing game. You notice how they're not really making improvements to the running game, they're making improvements to the passing game. They're incorporating a better balance. That really says a lot. Like, they actually care about their game, because in Madden 20 the run was just way too overpowered. Now in Madden 21 they're making defenses better adjust, and they're also making passing more viable, like more of a viable strategy. Halfback script stream plays have been adjusted in many areas. First is the halfback getting a cleaner release on his route while avoiding traffic near the line of scrimmage. I really like this, because when I'm trying to do a slip screen, my running back would sometimes get caught on a defensive lineman, or like what's called defensive lineman, or like my offensive lineman blocking the defensive lineman. He would get caught, and as a result, when I went to throw it after he got released, the pass rusher was right in my face. So I'm really happy that they were able to fix that. So now the slip screen is going to be a better play, and it's going to fit into more offenses. We also added functionality for screen blockers to sometimes block a rusher in the inside gaps before releasing out of the screen, so that the quarterback has enough time to get the pass off versus heavy pressure. And once again, just a really good improvement here. In addition to halfback improvements to screen passes, another new addition is halfback choice routes, which will be commonly used in the trips formations such as gun tray wide flex. These routes get your halfback involved in the passing game and allow for him to make AI-driven decisions on the fly, and even halfback swing routes have been tuned so that the running back is more aware of the sideline and more responsive in turning upfield after the catch. I really like this because, you know, if I'm going to throw to my running back, sometimes what would happen is he would go completely out of bounds. He would just walk out of bounds and then try to catch the ball, and he would end up dropping it anyway. But I like that they made improvements to that, and, you know, I just like that they're kind of going full AI with this. They're really incorporating more AI, which I really like. And overall, I really like this, man. Good changes here. For wide receiver screenplays such as PA jailbreak screen, you'll notice that receivers can immediately get upfield after catching the ball, and quarterbacks can now get the ball out much quicker, as you can immediately abort the play, any play action fake at any time by pressing the receiver icon to throw. This, feels similar to the RPO alerts from Madden 21. So I like this here because sometimes when I went to go throw screens, what would happen is my quarterback would end up getting sacked because he would throw really slow. He'd have to like wind up for like a 5-yard pass, and I just really didn't like that. But now EA made a change to it, and they made the passing animations quicker, which is a great improvement. Really nice, EA. Speaking of RPOs, we continued polishing them after introducing them last year. On some of the RPO peak plays, the running back will take more of an inside zone track because this path of departure makes the weak side running game away from the tight end more powerful. Really, you know, nothing much you can say here. Play calling and clock management by the AI-controlled teams was something we spent a lot of time refining on for Madden 21, primarily to make each game inside of franchise modes and Ultimate Team solos feel more unique and strategic. This was another big point here. So basically what they said in this here is these AI-controlled teams are going to mix up like diverse concepts, and they're also going to adjust. Like, let's say you're calling pinch buck go in Madden 20, you can run pinch buck go 20-30 times and the offense won't switch up. However, if now you do that in Madden 21, like if you call it I think 3 or 4 times in a row, the defense is going to make adjustments like max protecting, which is blocking the running back and the tight end, or just blocking the tight end, basically trying to neutralize the pressure as much as possible. And what that'll do is it will make solo challenges and solo battles a lot harder, as well as franchise games if you like to play offline. And I really like that because it adds more strategy to the game and it gives you more of a challenge, which is really good. Like, I'd say that's a very good improvement by EA. I'm praising them so much, man. I usually don't do that, but I praise them. You know, I like this. So let's see. AI quarterbacks become more intelligent in making reads for RPO plays and throwing the ball on time when it's pulling time to pass. On defense and goal line situations, the AI play calling will be much more dynamic now, meaning they won't always come out in the perfect personnel package based on the offensive play call, which will make you get a little more creative in the offense if you want to score. For clutch management, AI teams will be smarter in handling end of the half and end of game situations. The AI will better utilize the game context to make decisions such as current score, quarter, play clock, and remaining timeouts when deciding what to do in these critical situations. I like this because sometimes when I was playing solo challenges or offline franchise games, the AI would just completely bug out and they wouldn't, like, let's say they had no timeouts and it was like 5 seconds left or whatever, they would like take their time to snap the ball and whatnot, and it would just not really feel like they were trying to make the most of the clock. However, it's going to be improved in Madden 21, which I like. And I believe this is not the last thing, the second to last thing. Adaptive AI and AI quarterback updates. Once an NFL quarterback's to the line of scrimmage, he gets a good feel of the defensive look. In Madden 21, we are redefining our adaptive AI logic, which will give AI quarterbacks the ability to audible to pass concepts that are ideal for attacking certain coverage defenses. Once again, this is just another update to the AI. Logic will begin to take place after repeated defensive play calls. So this is going to basically neutralize pinch buck O or mid blitz, basically plays that you can call multiple times in a row. In this, Madden 20, you could call it multiple times in a row and you would just get sack after sack and the quarterback wouldn't adjust. However, in Madden 21, it's going to make it a bit tougher, so I like that. Logic will begin to take place after repeated defensive play calls. I already mentioned that. AI quarterbacks will be much better equipped to deal with all-out blitz plays, and it mentions here the double A gap, the mid blitz. So if you run a play like that multiple times in a row, the offense is going to adjust and then you might give up a touchdown if you run it multiple times, as opposed to you getting sack after sack. Just that kind of thing here. And it says it will drastically improve strategy in solo game sessions such as franchise and solos. When facing pressure, the AI quarterback will play more true to their style of play. For example, a scrambling quarterback will look to run with the ball if they can find an open rushing lane. A pocket passing quarterback will look to throw the ball away more when feeling under pressure or even taking those one-on-one shots down the field to favorable matchups. Playing against Lamar Jackson compared to Tom Brady is a completely different experience this year, so be prepared to game plan accordingly. The pressure recognition by the AI quarterbacks will scale more by difficulty level, meaning on higher difficulties like Pro and on Madden, it will become harder to get the quarterback for a sack before he throws the ball. Once again here, just adds strategy, just adds challenge. I like it. And then the final thing here, AI ball carrier updates for Madden 21. Ball carriers will also have seen improvements. AI controlled halfbacks will be more decisive in their decision to pick a running lane and will have a more organic behavior in the open field. The AI quarterbacks will look to protect themselves and the ball in a realistic way by sliding in the open field or running out of bounds. We hope you're enjoying Gridiron notes. So that was pretty much it. So nothing really much in this paragraph here. And the next Gridiron notes is going to be July 28th. It is going to be going over the feedback at the closed beta. So hopefully I watched other YouTubers and they did address, like, there was problems in zone coverage and whatnot, so hopefully they will address it. But guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, smash a like, stretch for the 5 likes. Let me know what you thought of this down in the comments. Anyway though guys, take care. Most importantly, stay classy.